Hello everyone and welcome back to another Guild Wars 2 video. So next month End of Dragons is coming out, therefore a lot of new players will be joining Guild Wars 2. And for that I will be helping them with, taking their hand and showing them through the game and, stuff like that. So in this video I'm going to show you the basics of the settings, which settings I really recommend you to enable so you get a better or you get more smoother gameplay experience. I'll be doing a lot of videos like about things like gameplay, how to progress, stuff like that. But in this video, we're going to talk about settings. So let's start. When you click escape on your keyboard, you will be seeing you get the option to go into options. And therefore, when you open up options, you will see these things. In the top, you will be able to choose the language, and also you'll be choosing the profanity filter. Like, do you want to actually Guild Wars to like sort out words that is not the best word, like swear words and so on. Or if you just want it to be like, nah, I want to watch all the things. Also recommend to set your time to local time, for example, so you can always see what the time in the bottom here is for you, like on the minimap. When going through the settings, I really highly recommend to always use Aoe Loot on interact. Basically, that means it will loot everything on the ground. Like if you killed 3 mobs or 5 or 10, it will loot all of them. If you don't have this enabled, you have to go to each of the mobs and loot them. So trust me, just do it. You also want auto loot, auto pick up. Well, it takes basically all the items, so you don't see the window of the loot box anymore. It's just taking all the items and putting them directly into your loot, into your inventory. And of course, it's gonna show like in the right corner all the items or that corner what you have looted. But it's still like very quick and easy to do. I highly recommend, like, it's, well, recommend. It's up to you if you, like, want to see the enemy names, NPC names, player names. I just want to see, like, player names, and then it's okay for me to see, like, enemy names when I actually interact with them. Yeah. Show skill recharge is a really cool thing. Like, it shows when to get, like, show the remaining recharge time of your skills and cooldown. Like, it actually tells you when it's ready. That's pretty cool. And also I like to see the health percentage of my enemies, which I think is pretty cool. I also like this one, automatically expand looking for group preview. Automatically expand looking for group preview when there are category available. So it's basically gonna like automatically expand the view of the looking for group, which is pretty nice. I also like this one here, like especially this one, thick party health bars. So instead of having like small health bars, it's gonna get even bigger, so I can even easier see my like the health bars on my party. Also, I like it for my squad, and also always show party health bars on my squad and party, so I can always see what, like how much HP my friends have. And again, for the dynamic HUD, I recommend just putting this always show on everything. It should be the default option, but I like this one so you can like see all your interfaces and all that all the time without anything like getting hidden. Going down to the camera, I actually have a few recommendations. So if we say restore default, this is going to be your default settings. So if I close my game, you'll be seeing this is my game right now. I can see, look, okay, like I'm going to remove my webcam. Look very closely to the left over here where my mouse is. You can see, I can see this building here. But if you play with your settings and you go into field of view and you actually expand it all the way out and we zoom back into where I was, close to my character, you will now be seeing the wall we could see before is actually, now we can see all the way over here. It's a really cool thing that a lot of people, they don't know of, but it's like it's expanding your screen so you can see even more. And it's basically, like people who has like an ultra wide screen, they can also see even more, but it's basically like doing that. So I highly recommend actually like going in and enabling well, again, I actually don't want to say the word recommend, because some people when playing with this, they feel like the game becomes a bit fisheye, like it's some kind of like compressed and weird. But I would highly recommend you like to try enable it, and if you like it, I mean, what's bad about being able to see even more? Like even see this view here, right? We can see all the details here. If we go back and restore to default, it's gonna go all the way in here. Like, did you see how much we're losing? Like, it's insane how much more view you're gonna get. But again, some people feel like it's like changing the aspect of the game, and they don't like that. So, I would recommend play around with it and see if you like it. Also in here, if you want to take like, I'm just going to recommend it because I love taking a screenshot of my character. If you like really want to take a screenshot of your mount, you can see it's quite annoying because the mount is like very low down on the screen. So you probably like want to move your camera a bit down. This one here called vertical position far is, oops, not that one. This one here, vertical position near. Yeah, that's one. That one is gonna make the camera go even more down. So now I will be able to take a really cool screenshot of my mount. And when I'm done, I can basically say restore to default and we're back. Because you probably don't want to play with this one all the time since the camera will feel like it's a lot down. So we don't want that. Secondly, I highly recommend not if you play human, but if you're playing Norn, one of the very big characters. Because if you don't checkmark this one, adjust camera to character high. If you don't play with this one on a Norn, the camera is basically like the character is going to be like up all the way up here with the head. And this one is making sure that the camera goes up to the shoulders of the character. So if you play a Char or Norn, which is like really big people, then I highly recommend just try it. Trust me, try enabling this one here and you will see a big difference. The game is basically jumping up on your shoulders, so you will be able to see more in front of you instead of just like behind your character, which I don't really like. So I'm not using it as a human, but when I play on my Norn, I go in and activate it because trust me, it's gonna do a big difference. A thing that I don't like double tap. Like when it's actually like a default setting. When you press like twice on W or S or D or A, it's gonna evade. I don't like that because I want to be able to use my mechanics, like my movement, as much as I want. So I'm gonna put it back here. So what I actually recommend is, again, and that's up to you. I recommend removing double tap to evade because I have it on my keybind V. So basically when I want to evade, I press V, like this, V. Because I don't like the game, like, because sometimes I click 2 times on W and then it was rolling and I just wasted a roll. And I'm pretty sure some of you guys watching this, or girls watching this right now, is like, oh yeah, I know that. Like, I totally know that. So yeah, probably like remove that double tap because we never know. You never know when like it's gonna annoy you. It probably will. Rest of the settings I have here, I'm pretty sure it's like default settings, so nothing really big to talk about here, except this one here, team colors. I like to be able to see, like, I like to see my enemies. So if you don't have this one on and you do PvP, then all your enemies and your team is basically going to have the same color gear. It can be hard to then difference between who's actually good and bad. But if you do like this one here, enemies only, then enemies is going to have the team color of their armor. So for example, when you play World vs. World, people are going to now have like red armor, green armor, blue armor. And if you also want your friends to have it, you can even say everyone. And I'm pretty sure it's also going to change you. I mean, I'm pretty sure it does. But yeah, I just like to see enemies, and then my team can be whatever color they have chosen. Down here, World vs. World, if you're playing like World vs. World and you want to see, you can even see people's like real name, like if you want to see like full names everywhere when you play Big Wars, or just like simple names, which is like guild logo or guild name, or you know, something more simplistic. I play with that because I don't need to know what my enemy's name is. And going into the graphic options, I highly recommend, and again, it depends on the user, but my game, I like Guild Wars 2 for me was like unplayable until they enabled this one here called Enable DX11 Rendering. Before that, I played, my frame rate in this game was so bad, and it's actually why I didn't really play this game and why I didn't do much content about it. But enabling Enable DX11 Rendering for me just made the game run so good. Like if I remove this one right now, I use a 60 frame rate limit because if I don't, that's because I'm doing videos. So if I'm not doing videos, I remove this one and just enjoy a game, and then I get like 140 frame rate, something like that, which is insane. But I have heard people who have very new graphic cards can kind of crash while using this one. But keep in mind, it's still in beta, so it might not work for you yet. But try it. Just try it. I highly recommend it. Going down to the settings, I actually play with presettings. I play with everything like this one here, best appearance. I play with everything like on max, except post processing. I don't know why anyone would actually play with that, but in my world, playing with post processing, look at this. It looks like, I mean, it looks like I'm drunk. It looks like I'm drunk and I cannot focus on my character. It looks like it's blurry everywhere. It's like, I don't know what's happening. Like, it looks so weird for me. And if I remove post-processing, the game gets sharp and it reminds me of like other MMOs. Like, now I can see my character in totally sharpness. Like, I can see it. But in removing, enabling post-processing, I don't know. It's like I'm playing like with a glow or something on it. It's just so weird for me. So if you play with high like settings like I do, try and remove post-processing, and I think you will be happy because now you can actually see like all the spicy details on your armor instead of this one. It's like it's trying to hide the game. Yeah, it's just weird for me. Even the low one is a bit weird. So yeah, get rid of it. Just do it. Get rid. But yeah, arrows pretty much here. Also, highly recommend motion blur power. I like to have it off because when you have it on, when you move like around, it's like gonna have like some kind of motion blur. I don't like motion blur, so I just put it all the way down so it looks much more crispy when looking around. So that's my settings for options I would highly recommend you to use. Sound options, I actually just have one thing I want to recommend, and that's basically the one here called music interval. A lot of people, it's funny, a lot of people, they think if you put it on longer, then your songs will be longer and you will hear more songs. But it's actually it's false. It's not how it works. It means how long is the break, the interval between songs. And people, they put this all the way up and like, yeah, I'm gonna hear so much music now. And they will be like, where the hell is the music? Well, buddy, you basically enabled so the break between the songs is very high. So you probably want to put it all the way down. So now this is short. The breaks between songs is going to be so small. So you will be hearing music all the time. So definitely highly recommend doing this. Else in here, I don't really recommend anything else except like sound quality. Put it all the way up to like sound better. But I can't really say how much it's going to affect your performance in the game. Control options, I just have like a few recommendations going into key bindings. So for example, we have auto run, which you probably like. So if you don't have it key binded right now, I highly recommend putting auto run in so that you can actually just click on one button and your character just runs. And of course you still have to like turn them around. Also dodge. So I don't use double click on my keys to dodge. So I highly recommend also putting dodge on something. I use it on V. Also enable walk if you like to do some a bit like role playing. If you have some cool armor and you want to show to people in the marketplace where people are hanging out, enable walk and look cool while you're walking. And trust me, if you have a two-hand sword, take it out because then your character would be like walking with it on the back, like having it on the shoulder. It looks really good. Going down in this section here, I don't want to show anything here. Where was it? Going back to... I have it almost here. I'm just making sure that I'm not skipping anything that is important for you to know. Okay. Well, probably the most important thing in this here is toggle action camera. I already made a video about it, but still, we gotta talk about it. Toggle action camera basically means when I click on this button, the game turns into another game, like other MMOs. Now the game is using my mouse like as a shooter mouse, like when you just looking around. Normally, of course, when you play Guild Wars 2, you can just like hold down, right click, and it's gonna be the same. But now this game is gonna feel like it's an action game, like an action MMORPG. Even when you attack, it's gonna attack like every time you click. So it's also going to change your combat style, which is pretty cool. And of course, you can still use like spells and stuff like that. But it's basically changing your game. So if you're playing like a ranger, you actually have like to now mouse over the enemy you're shooting at and shoot that way. And it also, as a ranger, it enables you to like being able to like throw spells in different directions. Normally, you like if you don't play with this, I would never be able to choose which way my shots should go. Like you can see, just randomly shooting down the ground. But doing with action mode is now enabling me to shoot like any direction I want, which is also pretty cool. But of course, it also makes it's harder for you to play, because normally you could just like click on the enemy and then click on your number one, and it will just like attack them. So at the same time, the game gets a bit more fun, but it's also making it harder for you. So what do you pick? Hard, fun? Like, it's up to you. Another thing I just forgot to talk about, like, is enabling first-person camera, which can be pretty cool, because when you have it enabled, you can scroll all the way in, and oops, sorry for that. And basically, that was my daughter sleeping. And basically, you can now zoom all the way in and use first-person camera, which is cool. I don't recommend playing with it, but still nice. So that's basically the settings that for me makes a difference playing this game and makes it run best and, you know, most fun of it. Just saying. And if you don't know, actually, just a tip, when you go into options in the bottom right corner here, you can see your frame rate and your ping. So if you're like, how much frame rate do I have right now? It's down here, bro. It's down here. So thanks for watching. And again, this was just one of my short tutorials on Guild Wars 2 before Ender Dragons comes out. I will probably be doing like 20 of these videos where I will be talking about different sections, like different topics. So thanks for watching. See you in another episode and have a good day.